Hey there, thanks for tuning into Duck Bricks. I'm Chris, and I just got back from BrickWorld Chicago, the largest LEGO convention in the entire USA, and I had an absolute blast. This was actually my very first LEGO convention I have ever attended as actually one of the guests and not just a member of the public, and even beyond that, I've pretty much only gone to BrickCon here in Seattle, which is great, but this was on another level. So much so that I've had to break up my videos on BrickWorld Chicago into 4 separate installments, each covering one of the 4 days I was there because there was simply too much to talk about per video. I can't sum this all up in one single video. And so, without further ado, we're going to go through my vlog, my journey, meeting some of the coolest LEGO YouTubers out there. This was an incredible time, so let's get started with day 1. So how did this all start? Well, on the Thursday before BrickWorld Chicago, I got a chance to be on a podcast with a couple of brickheads. You can find them linked in the description below, but it was kind of a crazy experience because they randomly emailed me and said Just2Good wanted to meet me. Yes, that Just2Good, which I was absolutely not expecting whatsoever. I had been watching Just2Good's videos since, I believe, 2012 or 2013 when he started. I have very fond memories of watching his videos in like middle school and high school, seeing that very first Chima Speedor's full collection video. He's honestly like one of my heroes when it comes to LEGO YouTubers and the LEGO YouTubing space. So when they emailed me and were like, hey, Just2Good wants to meet you, I was like, oh, no way we're talking about the same Just2Good here. But yeah, apparently he did actually want to meet me, which is absolutely insane. Of course, I was so excited to meet. He is the coolest, chillest guy. There's a lot more content coming out with me and Just2Good coming out very soon as a result of this, so stay tuned for that. But we hopped on stream and we started talking about BrickWorld Chicago. Now at this point, I had already been convinced to go to BrickWorld Chicago by Cool Guy Dom. You might know him on TikTok, one of the biggest LEGO TikTokers. He was also on LEGO Masters Season 3, but I got a chance to meet him in person in New York for a LEGO event a few months ago, and that was when he convinced me to go to BrickWorld Chicago. Now, when I was on podcast with a couple of brickheads, they also were going, and then it was all pure pressure. We all kind of were telling Just2Good that he had to pull up. The thing is, Just2Good didn't really plan this in his schedule. He wasn't quite sure if he was going to be able to make it. So what I said is that I said, hey, look, if you want to sell me a rare LEGO item, I will fund whatever is required for you to be able to come to BrickWorld Chicago. I want to meet you in person, let me know how much it's going to cost, and I will buy as many rare LEGO items from you that it takes in order to get you to come. And so he was like, all right, we'll do a live buy. We got a deal set up, and as it turns out, he actually was willing to sell some of the Comic-Con exclusive brickheads. I do not own any of those. Well, I guess I do now, but at that time I didn't own any, and we were able to work out a really good price for some of the Comic-Con exclusive brickheads, which I'm actually really happy I was able to get because these have been something that I've been wanting to get in my collection for a long time. Now, Just2Good still has to ship them to me, but I told him no rush because I have a huge backlog of LEGO, so I don't really actually need them anytime soon. But once the deal was done, Just2Good was locked in. He now had no choice but to pull up at BrickWorld Chicago. But he didn't actually get a chance to pull up until late in the evening on Thursday, which means that I basically had a full day to really just go around the convention even before I actually met him. And this is where the fun begins. So I flew into Chicago really early in the morning. I believe I got in at around 5 a.m. and I was actually still working. So I was taking work meetings throughout the day. I was in my hotel room for a lot of it, but I did actually get a chance to venture out to the convention itself. And the very first thing that I did was have lunch over at the infamous Portillos. Everybody in Chicago was telling me I had to eat here. Portillos, I don't know what it's pronounced, but everyone was saying you gotta eat here. So I got a chance to eat with Cool Guy Dom and the rest of his crew, and afterwards we pulled up at the Legoland Discovery Center, where I actually made my first big purchase, and actually my first purchase of the entire convention, and that was buying a second copy of the UCS Hulkbuster, specifically to be able to create the very nice custom mock version of the set made by Ransom Fern. You can check that out in the description below, but I wanted to buy this in order to be able to actually make this model and do a side-by-side comparison of just using the parts from the official set. You can actually make it much better. Now, I have been streaming this live on Twitch, the construction of this massive gargantuan build. I had to dump all the parts out on the table, so do check in on that if you are curious about what that actually looks like and what the process is. But overall, That was the first purchase, and that was just the first of many. The only reason why I got it here was because we actually had a contact with one of the Legoland Discovery Center employees, and they were able to get us a pretty good discount on the set, which is pretty much why I was able to justify actually buying it for myself. Afterwards, it was then time to actually hit the convention floor, and while the official convention was not open until Saturday and Sunday, Thursday and Friday were private days where most folks were still setting up, and the vendors were already kind of basically set up and ready to go, which was super exciting because then I got a chance to really start meeting people and making purchases. And I can tell you, nothing could have prepared me for what I was about to experience when stepping onto the convention floor. The moment I stepped foot inside the convention, a ton of folks came up, wanted to get autographs, photos. It was the craziest thing, and it was the experience of a lifetime being able to meet other DuckBricks fans and actually being able to interact with them and see what they thought about the channel and have a conversation about LEGO, about life. Let's go ahead and see some footage from my first interactions with some DuckBricks viewers right now.
My name is Mo, I'm Sensei Stealth.
This is Content 207, we got Brick Henry
I'm
here.
Brick Henry.
This is my first time at BrickWorld Chicago. I'm meeting a ton of new folks. How have you guys been here?
Dude, we've been doing
no,
great. It's our first time.
Yeah.
We're first timers.
Yeah.
All right, all first timers.
We've been going around meeting everybody. It's awesome. We've been looking for you especially. We love you.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome. I've got something for you.
Oh my
It's
god,
awesome.
you did not need to.
We got.
Thank you.
So there's a card for you.
Yeah.
We got a card for you.
Oh.
We know it's your birthday. It's your birthday somewhere.
No.
It's your birthday
Oh.
somewhere.
Thank
There's
you
a little
so
message in there.
Oh
for
my
you.
goodness, this means a lot. Thank you.
You got a message
Oh
for you.
wow, this is. Oh my goodness, this means so much. Thank you so. Can I please have one minifigure? Hey, I'll give you one right now. I just bought a few minifigures. Let me get you here. Let's see. Here, Cole. I've got a couple of Coles. Dude, we got Legacy Cole here.
We got Lexi Cole.
Here's your minifigure.
Thank you so much, man.
Enjoy, man.
We got one more thing for you.
Oh my
Another
goodness.
gift is that's you.
Yo, check this out. Oh my goodness.
There's a message on the bottom, I think.
Oh, two DuckBricks from Sensei Stealth. Yo, everyone, check them out.
You know what, man?
You know, my friend made you this video for you.
That is amazing.
No way.
All right, so we've got a printed out photo of the collection. You got it. Yeah. All right. Let's put a signature here. I'll draw the classic Duck logo.
Thank you so much, bro.
Of course.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
It was
This
great
has been
meeting
so
you,
cool.
Appreciate it. Oh, wait, I didn't have a picture. Nice meeting you, man.
Nice meeting you. Yes, we got to get a photo. All right. As you can see, we were all having a total blast being able to meet each other. I honestly just love being able to meet other folks into LEGO, and of course, folks who watch DuckBricks videos, I would love to meet you all in person, and this was just such an incredible opportunity to be able to do that. But of course, then I was able to run into my friends, a couple of brickheads, an absolute heater gang right here. We've got the whole crew, and it was so cool actually finally meeting them in person. I'd been on the podcast, I guess, a couple of times at that point, but it was a completely insane experience actually meeting these people in person. And shout out to Sean and the entire gang for just showing me around the entire week. We basically just hung out with them and Just2Good, so it was a great time. Thank you again for being super welcoming. I had a blast, and we are going to take BrickWorld by storm next year. But of course, I could not wait. I had to start making some small purchases, so I started to kind of go around to the different vendors and start to purchase a few specialized LEGO items. One of the most interesting vendors here is this one, where I got a chance to be able to actually see a lot of rare discontinued LEGO sets, but unfortunately the prices were pretty high, and I don't think I bought a ton from this particular store just because the prices were really expensive, but don't worry because there was a lot more to come. From there, I got a chance to meet a few more folks, and let's hear from them and their displays right now. All right, here we have an insane collection of custom LEGO elves. This is so crazy how many there are, and we actually have the creator right here. Can you tell us a little bit about this?
So, you know, I'm a huge Castle fan. I've seen it, but I guess like not a lot of people have elves, like elvish armies. It's
Yeah.
like falcons, lion knights, whatnot. So I just want to do something unique. The helmets are from Brick Warriors. There's about like 525 of them right now.
525. These helmets are sick.
And then also like horses are very expensive.
Yeah.
So I mean like custom chocobos.
Oh. That is so cool.
This is from an Instagrammer called Brick Ninja.
Brick Ninja.
He's Japanese. But yeah, he created like these mini chocobo things.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
do you post these online? Is there anywhere we can find you?
Yeah, so I'm on Instagram. Handles No More Bricks.
No More Bricks.
Yeah.
I'll link it in the description.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Dude, thank you for showing me this. This is so cool. Thank you so much to No More Bricks for walking me through this incredible custom LEGO Elves collection, and from there I got a chance to see some of the other Moxie out on display, but soon enough my focus then turned back again towards the used LEGO stores. I was able to buy a lot more things. The only thing I passed up on was this Dagobah mini build from San Diego Comic-Con 2015. I'm gonna be honest, I was super tempted, but at $675, I just felt like it wasn't quite worth it because I could easily just purchase all the parts myself and build this just as its own model. It's not something I was super interested in, but it was very cool to actually hold this box in person. That's why I wanted to showcase a photo. And then I got a chance to see some incredible LEGO Ninjago mocks, including one that I've actually built and reviewed on this channel, which is a mech rebuild of the Zane's Ice Dragon creature, which just released earlier this year. It was super cool seeing these reimaginings of the Overlord Crystal King, as well as the newest LEGO Ninjago mechs, but then it was time to go ahead and catch up with one of my buddies, a local employee from my actual Bellevue LEGO store that's kind of local to me, and he brought a massive grab bag of LEGO Galador stuff to play around with, as well as some of the rarest LEGO sets ever. Let's take a look right now. There's so much.
It's great. I was just messing with these joints, and there's potential for like a spider.
Oh, yeah.
Half the collection. There's way
Oh
more.
my goodness. This is half?
Yeah, I've got about 60 pounds now. And so it's mixed with, this counts as Galador in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it was Alpha Team, right? I also discovered, so there's two versions of the Schimmel.
Yeah.
Notice the hole in the head. So that's, you can fit bars in that.
Oh, what?
The early version of it has an alternate ice staff that's trans blue.
What?
And that's like one of the rarest LEGO pieces that exists.
That's crazy. I did not know that.
And then the gun, or the Gorm's shooters, there's two versions of that too.
Really?
I think it's because, so you can see the difference between those two.
Oh, weird.
So this is two separate pieces that come
Whoa.
off, and that would have been a choking hazard, I believe.
Oh.
So that's why they changed it later with the metal. But that is undocumented on BrickLink, and I discovered that, so that's fun.
Whoa. Yeah,
But,
I did
yeah.
not know that. Yeah,
This
you're right.
is
It's not on
almost,
BrickLink.
almost unknown.
Yeah.
A handful of people know about that. But
That is so crazy.
during COVID, I was about to buy the shark bike.
What?
Someone had it on
What?
or BrickLink for like.
This is like one of my white whales, actually. I've been
yeah.
trying to get my hands on one of these for years now. Like, this is one of the rarest Galador sets ever.
One of the rarest LEGO sets.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
There's honestly something so special about learning something new about a LEGO theme, even to this day. No matter how much knowledge you have about LEGO, there's always something new to learn, and it was so cool being able to experience all these different types of Galador molds and really understand that there were a lot of variations in toys that aren't even documented on BrickLink, which was nuts.
And then these limb joints, they could have just used Euripides,
But they did not.
but they didn't.
It's all new.
Yeah.
Wow. It was honestly such a weird experience actually seeing Tager in person. Again, for those who aren't really aware of the rarities behind Galador, obviously when Galador was not doing well and it was very clear that it did not make sense to continue selling the sets, LEGO basically pulled all of the products from shelves. However, Tager, this one right here, was released in New Zealand and Australia, or at least one of the two. I don't know if it was both, but he's one of the rarest LEGO sets ever. I've been on the hunt for him. There's one on BrickLink right now, but the cost to ship it to me is close to $600, so I don't really know if it's worth that much. But hey, if anyone in the comments is watching this and has a Galador Tager for sale, please hit me up because this is one of my most wanted LEGO items. I am certainly on the hunt. Right after that, I just happened to bump into Sarah Skiles. She is one of my handlers or managers with the LEGO Ambassador Network, so it was super cool actually meeting her in person and getting a chance to discuss what I thought about how LEGO does things and a lot of questions I had about the Ambassador program, so this was such a cool experience. Thank you, Sarah, for taking the time to go around the convention and chat with me. As we were going around, we got a chance to take a look at some of the coolest LEGO sculptures. This one right here, as you can see, is literally a shape that is completely custom molded, built built out of just leaf elements. It's kind of a brand new building technique. I thought this was one of the coolest models that I've never seen anything like this ever done before. And of course, I then got a chance to visit the BrickWorld workshop, and this is so cool. So if you aren't aware, BrickWorld is a custom Lego mock shop, and essentially they sell these pre-made specialized Lego mocks where you can buy the pieces and instructions for them and build them yourselves. There definitely is a big upcharge in order to actually be able to pay for all of these models because they have to collect all the bricks and then bag them up and sort them, but I would say that it was really worth it actually being able to play around with these. I of course ended up actually buying a couple of the lightsabers myself. You can check those out in the haul video I'm going to eventually publish, but what a cool experience just being able to talk to the designers, and we would actually have lunch with the entire BrickWorld team after that, so stay tuned for that. We're going to be covering that later on in the video. Yes, you may be asking, didn't you already have lunch at Portillos? But as you can see, I like to eat, and I will never say no to lunch. So for lunch/dinner, my friend Jonathan, aka Mini Superheroes Today, convinced me to go to Giordano's, which apparently is one of the best places to get deep dish pizza in Chicago, and it did not disappoint. Despite taking about 45 minutes to get here, this is probably some of the best deep dish pizza I've had in my life. It was so good, thank you man for the recommendation, and it was such a blast being able to meet even more people at this lunch. We had lunch with a huge group, the whole BrickWorld team was here, Jonathan was there, a ton of other Lego influencers and content creators were here. We literally took up 2 tables with like 20 people at each table. It was a great time, and I absolutely will be going back next year. Of course, after that, we went back to the LEGO convention, where immediately I noticed that there was a build of Casper the Penguin by Marcus Robuler. You might know him as the designer of LEGO Ninjago City Gardens. This is actually something that I saw on Instagram a few days before the convention, and I thought it was super cute and really nice and cool, and then he actually brought it to showcase at the convention itself, so that was really cool to see, this like fully brick-built penguin. Moving on from there, of course, again, I do like Lego, so I was drawn to the vendors yet again, and I got a chance to take a look at yet more of the vendors. Again, the prices were not amazing here. I kept on hearing that I should wait to buy anything until the yard sale, which in retrospect was correct. I should have waited to buy anything until the yard sale, but everyone was saying, no, just hold off, don't buy anything until the actual yard sale happens. I bought a few things, but I didn't buy that much. I probably only spent a couple $1,000s on the first couple of days, because I was restraining myself until the yard sale. But prices were not great, but there was some amount of room to haggle. The thing is, though, that a lot of the convention sellers, at least the marketplace at the convention, they knew that they were going to be able to sell their products anyways by folks just coming in from the public, so even if you wanted to make a deal, and even if they wanted to make a deal, it didn't really make sense for them to do so because, yeah, I could buy 10 of their sets and maybe ask for a bulk discount, or they could wait a day and have 10 different people buy those 10 sets individually. Just didn't make sense to give me or actual people who knew about Lego a discount, so that's why you're seeing a lot of the prices are pretty high even for some of the used sets, but it is what it is. Of course, got a chance to witness the Hawaiian shirt photo happening, which was something that was arranged by a ton of members in the community, which was super cool to see, and also got a chance to meet and run into even more people that I had met online in the past, but not really ever gotten a chance to interact with. Of course, one of the coolest parts about this day was just being able to wander around the convention floor and see the mocks themselves being set up. I of course will be doing a full-on feature on all of these specialized mocks I was able to see in the future video. I think day 2 was when I really got a chance to be able to see all of the different mocks themselves, but overall, it was kind of interesting just seeing things being set up, and I had a great time just looking at the mocks in progress as the builders got their builds ready to go. Throughout this process, I got a chance to really just witness some of my favorite builds being put together. Of course, there was a whole Star Wars section. Here you can see the Senate, I Love Democracy, being put together. This was actually the unfinished version. Check back in a later video, I think day 3 showcased the fully finalized version where every single one of the Senate pods had Easter eggs pertaining to different characters across a whole plethora of media, so it was cool actually seeing them unpack this. We of course have Tatooine here. There was a lot of Star Wars stuff, a lot of Star Wars lugs were here, but also also some Avatar movie stuff, like that creature being brick built is really cool. And I also really loved seeing these brick separator spaceships. I saw these online and thought they were so fun, and I just had a blast being able to actually see a lot of the coolest mocks that I've witnessed that I saw online or on Instagram or on Twitter or something, but actually physically seeing them was something else. Look at Shai's epic Black Falcon army. This is one of the coolest LEGO army displays that I'd ever seen. Wow, this literally makes me want to do that with my own Black Falcons. It's just so cool. And some of my favorite builds here were even some mini stuff. Like you can see some mini Ninjago modulars. These are all miniature LEGO sets from Metalbeard Sea Cow to the Statue of Liberty from the LEGO Movie 2. Of course, a ton of really cool spaceships, like that rotor design was great. A great like pirates display here with some of the vintage pirate ships being mounted on waves. And this was insane. This was a massive LEGO Batcave that showcases a lot of the official LEGO Batmobile sets. You can take a look at all sorts of details here. I think I have another feature on that coming up soon. But by far, my favorite set of mocks in the entire convention were the ones that we are about to see here. So there was a massive Ice Planet mech as well as a Rock Raiders mech. If you're unaware, Ice Planet and Rock Raiders are two vintage LEGO themes, and I was just blown away by the quality of these builds. I mean, just look at how this mech is literally mounted, just standing on top of the massive rock. You have some expert design and detailing in the posing of the Rock Raiders mech. This was just so cool. I think I have a full feature on this coming in probably the day 2 video,
dude,
because this was definitely one of my favorite builds in the entire convention. It may have been my favorite. It was just so cool to see. And then you have a full display for the Ice Planet ones. The builder actually mentioned that this was their very first time displaying at a convention, which was so cool. They even had Pokemon that were like even motorized and moving around here. This was an incredible display. Easily one of my favorites. Oh, hey, there's Dom. But yeah, one of the coolest builds, definitely, I think, a standout for the collection, and I think it actually won Best Mech. If I recall correctly, I saw on Instagram, the Chert Chewer here won Best Mech. One of the other most impressive builds here was this Day of the Dead inspired float. It was fully motorized and lit up, utilizing the green energy dragon pieces. We'll take a closer look at that when we go to the nighttime display for day 3. Got some Jurassic World Mosasaurus mocks. There's that elf army again. We've got so many unique things, and then here was another one of my favorite displays. If you've seen The Adventures of Clutch Powers, comment down below. But this was one of my favorite movies growing up. And what somebody has done is they recreated the Skull Fortress from The Adventures of Clutch Powers in actual physical LEGO form, Lord Malak's castle, and this was just like seeing it appear from the movie, but fully brick built. It was absolutely insane to see a reference this big to LEGO Adventures of Clutch Powers. I had a blast just going through this and seeing all the details. There you can see custom figures of the main characters actually integrated into the scene itself, which is actually just so accurate. You've got that random build they put together. That was just so much fun. But soon enough, it was then time to move on to the opening ceremony. And now, they gathered pretty much everybody who was at the convention. You might be able to recognize some folks from other LEGO communities right there seated here. And you can see this was when it was time for them to make the initial announcements to officially declare BrickWorld Chicago 2023 as open. One of my favorite things that they actually did at the opening ceremony was do a random raffle, where they would just randomly call out names and see who would win some of the biggest LEGO sets just ramping up in scale. It was actually so cool because one of the prizes they actually gave out was the Lion Knight's Castle, so some lucky winners were able to get that. This was just such a fun experience, and even a member of a couple of Brickheads was able to get one as well, and do a trade to trade up to get an even bigger set. So that was super fun to witness. Overall, a great opening ceremony, maybe a little bit long, but you know what? Once it actually got started with the giveaways, everyone was really high energy, and then it was time to get back to the builds. Going back out onto the floor, I got a chance to see some more cool mocks like this massive Bionicle mock right here. This was really cool to see, a full-on construction build. This was Abaddon the Destroyer, so very cool. Again, more looks at the cat and mouse fully made out of foliage, which again, just blew my mind. I mean, look at that. I've never seen that before. It literally was marked in bright red, new building style, and yeah, that is a new building style, alright. Certainly not something I've seen before. Also really cool to see some amazing medieval mocks. I love LEGO Castle, so seeing this kind of medieval village-like build with some great rock work, a really amazing tree in the center. This was just so much fun to be able to witness. One of my favorite mocks here as well. And then moving on from that one, got a chance to really just take close-up pictures of it. And then this right here was another one of my favorites. Someone made a supersized Black Falcon's knight and horse. Look at this. This is just absolutely insane. The level of detail on the shaping of the horse's head is just incredible. And that Black Falcon just looks so good. They even had the logo just fully rendered and brick built on the shield in the back. Definitely one of the most technically impressive models I saw the entire convention. From there, I went on over to the LEGO Masters booth, and a ton of the LEGO Masters from previous seasons were displaying their builds, and it was so cool to actually meet them in person. I'm a big fan of the TV show LEGO Masters, would definitely recommend watching it if you haven't already. It's just so much fun just seeing what people come together to build, because honestly, I'm not a mockist, so I'm just completely blown away by the amount of crazy things they actually managed to pull off on that show under time pressure. I cannot imagine what that would be like, but I got a chance to interact with the other LEGO Masters and meet their builds, and these Minecraft ones right here are by Cheesy Studios. You may know him on YouTube. He is definitely one of the most prolific LEGO YouTubers out there, and it was so cool seeing these Minecraft builds because these felt like I was in-game. Like, looking at these made me feel like I was looking at almost like screenshots of Minecraft, even more than LEGO Minecraft itself. I feel like he's really captured and nailed the aesthetic of Minecraft, and you have everything just tiled over, and there's not a lot of studs visible. It just felt so smooth, and it was really cool actually being able to see so many amazing Minecraft mocks. Definitely one of the highlights of the LEGO Masters table for me was just being able to witness these builds in person. I've seen the videos on YouTube, they're super cool, but in person was something else, and they just made me want to go and play with them. Like, I was super tempted to just be like, can I like run minifigures through here? Because this made me actually want to play with them, and he made them modular too, which was really impressive. Of course, from there it was time to move on. I really liked this castle, which gave me a lot of LEGO Elves vibes. I thought that was super cool in the way that this was constructed, with the pastel colors, but of course showcasing mini dolls having a great battle in a portal in the sky. This display right here was dedicated purely to LEGO Friends, and it was like turning other LEGO models into LEGO Friends inspired builds, which I thought was really cool, especially the Friends Galaxy Explorer. That is super fun, and the pirate ship as well. In a completely different sense, they had an Indiana Jones display here as well that they were in the process of setting up, so obviously the train tracks aren't fully set up yet. They were still not having it quite be running, but it was in the process. You got the flying wing right there as well. I'm sure Jonathan, aka Mini Superheroes Today, would have loved this display because he's like the biggest Indiana Jones fan I know. And then they even had some more Star Wars stuff like an AT-ACT there, which is so cool to see on Scarif. Lots of fun Easter eggs of minifigures hidden in the beach, as well as a model of the cargo shuttle from Rogue One, which kind of felt like it could have been a LEGO set. Of course, a lot of great mosaics to see here, especially these Mario themed ones were really fun. Got a chance to really go up close and personal with the mocks because again, these were not public days, so I really got a chance to explore and roam around. I got a chance to meet up and hear from one of the builders of a custom screen-accurate Ninjago Temple of Fortitude mock. Let's check that out right now.
So, to take out
Whoa!
the roof, yeah, there's nothing in the roof.
Sure.
But this is the second floor, it's just detail work. And then that's a light in there.
Oh, nice. You've got all the minifigs in there as well for the scene.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
This part is pretty hard to access, but...
Oh!
Yeah.
That is very smart. Wow. Dude, thank you for showing me this.
And there's more.
Oh my.
There's a little bit more. What did I just knock over? An Android? There's a basement.
Whoa! Oh, nice, nice.
So like, Benchstone Warrior and a Stone Army Warrior.
Yep, of course.
Ninjago movie collective.
Oh. Shoot.
No, it's good.
I see that. Ninja. Yeah, that's
that
like.
Pretty fragile.
Yeah.
And then let me.
Oh, here, I mean, I can. Here, let me just.
Yeah. No, but inside there's a snake head in there.
I
Since
see
it was
that.
revealed in the latest season that
Yeah.
the Overlord possessed the Great Devourer, I wanted to include that reference.
There it is.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Kyle for showcasing this. That was so cool. But eventually, after seeing that, I got a chance to look at some Horizon mocks as well as a funny Galador one. But soon enough, it was time for the big reveal, and I think this is the perfect way to end the video, just like it ended my night. My boy, Just2Good, started to pull up. So I started walking over, I saw Ryan, aka M&R Productions, setting up his specialized store, so that was super cool. Didn't really get a chance to fully meet him until the next day, but this is the in-progress shots of actually being able to set that up. But then, it was the moment of truth. our boy pulled up. Let's take a look at the clip from ACOB right now.
Give it up for Duck Bricks, everybody! Hello, hello. How's it going, everyone? Duck Bricks, you were in the house. You've been in for a few hours.
I have.
Very exciting. Ran into you on the floor. You guys have seen it. Showed them on the Instagram. Have you? What treasures have you found? Have you been able to add to your Guinness list?
Dude, I've gotten at least 12 to 14 sets today.
Yeah, he's already got 4. He's been here 2 hours. He's got 14 sets, Brendan. Actually, I know you've been here more than 2 hours because I was just in a room with you for 2 hours.
Unfortunately, yeah.
What? Just2Good is here!
I made it! I freaking made it! I was in disguise.
Bye. Get the hall. Get the hall. Get the hall.
I can't believe this. I can't believe this. So many people from all around here.
There's so many heaters. I'm sweating, guys.
Yeah, I'm sweating. There you go.
I believe Justin calls it a literal heater.
Literal heater.
Literal
yes, exactly.
heater.
You got that right. You got that right.
Literal heaters.
Literal heaters.
It's getting crazy. Oh, this is cool. The same hairpiece, but in blonde. Actually.
Oh shoot! Come on.
Have you seen all
We're
the
going over the
hairpiece? All the
hairpieces.
hairpieces.
Oh, yeah.
Review. I told we want to make Justin comfortable, Duck, so we're gonna let him review
minifigures.
Figures. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
John
Peanut
John.
right here. I love
This
this.
is a heater of a set
heater
right
set.
here. Yeah.
100%. This set is on fire. So.
If you want to check out that full amazing podcast that we did, it was probably one of the most chaotic podcasts ever. I literally met Just2Good for the first time live on this live stream. You can go ahead and check out the link in the description below, a couple of brickheads, and immediately after that, we went out for dinner and drinks with the gang, which was so much fun. Now here's the thing. Unfortunately, I made a little bit of a goof when I was booking my hotel. I usually only stay in Intercontinental hotels when I travel, so without thinking, I had booked the Intercontinental Hotel in Chicago and thought, okay, well, BrickWorld Chicago, it's gonna be fine. Well, no, as it turns out, my hotel was about an hour's drive away from the convention, which is not actually in Chicago. It's kind of just in a different part of Illinois. So what I did is I had to go eventually, I think around 3 a.m. I called up an Uber, got to my hotel at 4, canceled the rest of my stay, thankfully, and then I was able to set up a stay at another nearby hotel for the rest of my stay at the BrickWorld convention. But for that first night, I commuted back to the city, got back at like 3, 4 a.m., and immediately just crashed because if this was just day 1, I had no idea what was about to happen. I would say this was probably the most uneventful day, and I've already made like a 30-minute video summarizing what I did on day 1. So we're just getting started here, and hopefully you enjoyed the very first of many vlogs where so many more insane things happened at my BrickWorld Chicago experience. Alright, with that, we have summed up day 1 out of 4 of my BrickWorld Chicago vlog, and it's only about to get crazier from here. This was really just the first day. I was honestly a little overwhelmed. There were so many people. I was talking to folks every couple seconds, signing autographs, taking photos. It was absolutely insane, but it was just so much fun being able to actually meet so many amazing LEGO content creators and LEGO Machas and people who I'd known from online but never really met in person before, and it was just getting started. And so, stay tuned because I'll be posting part 2 out of 4 of this video coming very soon, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye for now.